This is one of the most powerful weapon pommels in the entire God of War Norse Saga. Mighty Olympic Saurotor of the Draupnir spear. But before we get into that, let's look at why this one and the other four made the top list.
Freya.
So I'm going to go through the top 5 best picks from over 48 weapon pommels across the entire Norse Saga. And trust me, the last one is an absolute gem. But first, these pommels had to pass through the following criteria. Combat utility. How practical the pommel is in real combat and how often its effect actually triggers. Versatility. How well it performs across different builds, playstyles, and difficulty levels. Damage and scaling potential. How effectively it scales with your stats and amplifies your total damage output. So, with that in mind, and in no particular order, let's dive straight into the top 5. Starting with Mighty Olympic Saurotor of the Draupnir spear, God of War Ragnarok. This Draupnir spear's weapon attachment perk is better known as Detonator's Might. It absolutely lives up to its name as one of the most devastating melee damage boosters in the entire Norse Saga. The great thing about the attachment is how easily you can trigger it. Doesn't matter how you plant those spears. Reckless throws, the hoplite lunge, impaling trusts, or even residues from an artillery of the ancients runic, detonate them with Draupnir's Call or Wail, and the glyph instantly activates. That's it. Giving Kratos a huge damage boost for 8 solid seconds. A perfect window to unleash chaos. Even if the 8 seconds elapse, detonate another spear and you're good to go. It's that simple. Officially, the pommel is said to have a moderate luck chance to activate, and you're right to think that means maybe 65%, right? Absolutely not. That term is almost insignificant. Its activation is almost 90% guarantee on every spear detonation, regardless of your current armor set. It's that reliable. But if you want that 100% instant conviction, then stack your luck stat. Armor sets like Tyr's Unity, known as Breastplate of Guiding Light in Ragnarok, are ideal given their huge base luck. The Berserker, Lunda's, Survival, or Giptomader's armor sets are fantastic options. And to sum it all up, the difference in damage output is undeniable once this glyph activates. And that's it for the first. You will be amazed by what the second best weapon pommel across the Norse Saga can really do. Here it is. Surtur's Grip of Flame of the Leviathan Axe, God of War 2018. The key here is the unique perk it grants, Wrath of Flame. Every swing in your standard R1 combo now creates a fire shockwave that spreads flame across enemies and deals massive burn damage over time, meaning the perk is triggered by every effective melee hit you land. This shockwave is the entire reason this pommel is ranked so high. It drastically increases the effective range of your melee, making it an undisputed champion of crowd control, much like the Blessings of the Frost runic that launches waves of ice. What's even crazier is that, when paired with runics like Blessings of the Frost, Kratos becomes a walking molten magma with an elevated burning and cooling effect at the same time. The damage output is incredible, and the stagger potential is an absolute menace. It's the only pommel across the entire Norse Saga that shoots a wave of fire directly from the Leviathan axe. The beauty of the pommel is its pure efficiency. You don't need a complex runic setup, a high luck build, or a specific armor set to make it work. Its power is simply tied to basic melee combat. So, get multiple hits on enemies and you're good. So that brings us to the third of the 5 best weapon pommels across the Norse Saga.
Stronger.
Pommels of Undying Spark of the Blades of Chaos, God of War Ragnarok. Well, it's time for pure elemental aggression, and the pommels of Undying Spark fit that role perfectly. Its perk, Scorching Burn, consistently amplifies the damage dealt by the burn status. It's like turning the burning temperature from 100 degrees to like 160 degrees, a massive spike in intensity that you feel with every strike. Think of it this way. A fully charged flame whiplash been the fastest way to inflict max burn stacks? Or even just your basic R1 chains, all set enemies ablaze. Now this pommel turns that easy-to-apply status effect into a damage over time monster, and once an enemy is on flames, you can kiss them goodbye. Scorching Burn provides the highest damage multiplier for the burn status effect, powerful enough to vaporize them. Now here's what makes it interesting, given its lingering effect. When paired with runic attacks like Cyclone of Chaos, Rampage of Furies, or Hades Retribution, the flames spread faster, hit harder, and stagger tougher enemies with ease. Unlike a lot of other pommels, this one requires zero setup. And when paired with an armor set like Mani's, which extends all status effects on enemies by up to 50%, the Scorching Burn effect becomes even more devastating, dealing relentless elemental damage over time. It's always on, always boosting your damage, instantly making your runic attacks and R1 combos hit an entire tier harder. Now, speaking of unstoppable damage, the fourth of the 5 best weapon pommels across the Norse Saga combines some of the finest. Retribution of the Leviathan Axe, God of War 2018.
Kratos, you have to make your father stop!
Retribution combines the best traits of some of the finest pommels from the 2018 series, like the Valkyrie's Might and the Wing of the Fallen, both earned after defeating the Valkyries. But Retribution itself is unlocked after defeating Sigrun in New Game Plus. Its power comes from the Queen's Wrath perk. It has a chance to trigger a catastrophic explosion on impact. When that explosion hits, it deals damage that few other single moves in the game can match. Here's the key. It provides a guaranteed power boost to 2 of your safest, but most repeatable attacks, the Axe Throw and the Axe Recall. What's even crazier is how flawless the Retribution feels compared to every other pommels across the Norse Saga, especially in how it handles the Axe Throw and Recall regardless of distance. The delivery is perfectly balanced, making each throw hit with precision that's hard to match. Once that axe is thrown, it travels in a straight, powerful line, hitting or interrupting enemies no matter the distance. And when it's recalled, the returning strike can trigger Queen's Wrath, unleashing an explosion strong enough to delete massive chunks of health or even counter dangerous Red Ring attacks, including those from the Valkyrie Queen herself. This made Retribution absolutely essential for taking down some of the toughest bosses in the game. Now let's go see what the final of the best pommels can really do. Hind of the Nine Realms across all Kratos weapons. God of War Ragnarok. This one needs no formal introduction. It is the ultimate tool for survival, and its perk, Momentous Shift, forms the core of the Realm Shift pack across all Kratos weapons. The Hind of the Nine Realms is activated when you max out your weapon's elemental meter, which you can then trigger with the L1 plus triangle buttons. When you do, of course, it triggers a Realm Shift. But here's the beauty of it. That single input doesn't just slow time, it activates each weapon's elemental core. That means Immolation for the blades, Permafrost for axe, and Maelstrom for the spear. And once it's active, the melee damage of the base weapon spikes drastically. So, in the slowed world of Realm Shift, every strike, slash, or spear hit lands with devastating force, enough to obliterate even the toughest bosses. You're basically controlling the pace of the encounter while dealing boosted elemental damage. And just like the Hilt of Hofud or Talisman of the Realms, this Momentous Shift only lasts for a short window. But that brief duration is more than enough to either dodge lethal Red Ring attacks or deliver unstoppable finishing blows. And one crazy thing about encounters like King Rolf and Gna is that it almost feels like they're coded to sense when Kratos' weapon power is at its absolute peak, especially when Permafrost or Immolation is active. At that point, they start pulling evasive maneuvers, trying to keep their distance for as long as possible. But once the Momentous Shift perk kicks in, their options shrink fast, time slows, their escapes fail, and they're forced to take massive damage head-on. And that's the awesomeness of the Hind of the Nine Realms weapon attachment. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to share your thoughts, Drop a like and subscribe to stay notified for more adventures to come. And if you missed the earlier episodes in our God of War, Norse Saga miniseries, including the Runic series and other Norse Saga videos, you can check them out by clicking the videos right here on the screen. Until the next one, stay sharp and keep dominating the realms. Bye for now.
Sigrun spoke of growing up with these people. Enjoying the